So go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Chris, since you've been on here before.
Sure. Yeah. My name's Chris Glowacki. Just like the other guys who will be on, we're out of Buffalo. I've been on the podcast before talking about, I think, all WTC in general. And running that one tournament um
That was
before.
great, by the
And
way.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's me.
And Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Marzinek. I am also part of the Buffalo Meta, and it was my first time in WTC. It was an absolute blast, and thanks for having me on.
And then we have Andy, old Syracuse native.
Hey, yeah, I'm Andy Cash. I used to live in Syracuse for first 21 years of my life. Played Warmachine there for quite a while. Live in Buffalo now, and just got back from WTC as well. Happy to be on.
So I'd just like to start off. I mean, you guys did really well. I mean, you came in 11th overall. It looks like you also had Travis, Marg, and Chuck Elswick on your team.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just overall, we can just kind of go around and you guys can talk about a little bit of your experience. Phil, do you want to start and just kind of talk about what were you expecting going into this?
So, I guess the one thing I was expecting was not to embarrass myself because I was a late addition, and I actually couldn't practice for a couple months as well because of a surgery. So, I did not have a ton of time to really get a lot of reps in. So I tried to play as many games as I could, a whole bunch against Andy. We probably played like 20 times. And I really just wanted to make sure I, got back into the swing of things of playing clean, just knowing my models as best as I could and just trying to, lean on past experiences. And, I wasn't nervous when I got there, and once the dice started rolling, it was just playing the game. So it kind of, was a great experience because I wasn't really worrying about too much. And I played against five really fantastic people. All the games were close, which was great, and it really kind of gave me the confidence that I can keep doing this, especially with more practice and prep and things like that going into the tournament. Because there's a lot of good players there, and you really have to make sure that you're playing the best that you can, so you can kind of keep up or stay in those games. So I was really happy with my performance on that part because of just my lack of prep time and everything. But yeah, that's kind of first experience. It's a great tournament. Just meeting all these people from around the world was absolutely fantastic. Had a lot of fun hanging out with them after the games. We closed down a couple bars, so it was a great. But yeah, it was just so cool, getting to meet these people. I hope that I can keep playing well and qualify again to go back, just because it's a really incredible experience.
That's really great. Andy, how about you? What were you expecting going into this?
Sure. I was expecting to have a lot of really good games, to see maybe very different types of play than what I was used to for people in different countries and such. And I would say overall the way that people played the game I thought was less different than I was expecting it. It was all pretty similar. Everyone was like very very like clean and precise there, but like there wasn't that much difference, I don't think, in the way people played. I think the bigger differences were the lists that people made. There were definitely some lists that were like way out there that I didn't expect. So I think that to me like highlighted the differences a little bit more than the way that people played. That I, at least for all the opponents that I had, everyone played the game roughly similar to how we play it here. So that was interesting. Yeah, I didn't have super high expectations. I thought, do our best. Travis, I think, was a really good captain, and didn't put a lot of pressure on us. He set his goal at the beginning of the tournament. It was, hey, I want to go at least 3-2, and we went 3-2 as a team, and so we met our team goals and celebrated, and the two teams that we lost to ended up being above us in the rankings. So they were better teams than us, and yeah, I think that's how it went. Yeah, had a great time. Venue was the venue was like had some pluses and a lot of minuses. I think honestly that is definitely the one thing that I do think had some room for improvement. Part of it was not the venue's fault, but it was really hot and like there was no air conditioning in the venue. There weren't like even any fans or anything, so like it was a bit rough. Especially later in the day. On Sunday I think was even worse. It was really hot there. The tables were awesome though. I really loved what they did there. They basically set like two big tables together and put the 4x4 mat on top of it. So every table had like room on the sides to like put all your stuff. It wasn't like all the mats were squished together. So that was awesome. Like the way they did the tables, the terrain, like event organizers, I can't give them enough credit on how awesome that was. Really the biggest thing is just the heat. Everyone was super sweaty.
Yeah, and with the venue, I saw pictures and I was very impressed with the streaming setup.
Mm.
Like that was incredible looking.
They took forever to set that up. That they spent like pretty much all day Friday setting that whole thing up.
And the video from them, it looks great. It looks like it really paid off. How about you, Chris? This is what, your second or is this your third?
This is my second. So I went last year with oh gosh, our team was the Black-footed Ferrets. It was myself, Cody Damon, Mike Garbarini, Ryan Schmidt. Gosh, who was and Cosma, Alec Cosma from out west. So we were on a team. I think we did. It was out of 24 teams. We got, I think, 8th place or 7th place, something like that. So we were like kind of still the same tier-ish as the team, I think. But yeah, no, this year was fun. We only an extra day, I think. Just doing touristy stuff or just hanging around. It felt like a lot more than last time. But overall, like game quality, all that stuff, I didn't really see anything different from what I experienced from last year. I didn't have any like weird opponents or weird rulings or language barrier things. Everything was super clean and good. Last year when the first time I was anticipating like having like a really kind of like try hard opponent or something, and how is it going to handle that, and there's going to be a language barrier and other stuff like that, but none of that happened last year, none of that happened this year. Everything was fine. But yeah, no, it was cool. All my games, I feel like lately I've been very notorious for clocking myself because I've been playing lists that have like 10 units in them and just so many guys, and I didn't clock myself. My opponent didn't clock. I wasn't even close to clocking. I mean, I lost a lot of games, but I didn't lose on clock, and I was very happy about that. Clock was not an issue.
Right.
I just got assassinated or scenarioed out. So yeah.
So what did you ended up playing Dark Operations again this year, right?
Yeah. Last year I played First Army. This year I played Dark Operations. I kind of picked them up like right after WTC
Oh, okay.
last year because I was like, well, I want to play something else, and I never played, Cephalix, so I was like, these guys seem cool, and they are cool. They're strong.
How did they compare, you think, to First Army? As far as like
definitely stronger than First Army, but
stronger.
then again, when I played First Army, like Kane wasn't out, like the Colossals weren't as big a thing, so is a little different. I think there's only one First Army player in the whole event this year. But there was only like 6 Dark Operations players this year at WTC. Overall, we did not do well. I believe the win percentage was like 33%.
I noticed that. Yeah. What do you think contributed to that?
There's just a lot. I think I don't know. Maybe it's a mix of like Mark III versus or Legacy stuff versus Mark IV stuff. A little bit of that. Also, like just the pairing is very swingy. Like you can go like Thexus with a bunch of dudes, or and then your off pair is like, are you gonna play like a weird Morton Ebra thing? It's not that. I mean, I don't think it's that great. There was someone playing it on South African team. I don't know what he was doing. And then like Siphon, who has like a ton of heavies, but like can't play scenario very well. So, and then the other lists, or the other caster is Asphyxious 1, which that's what my pair was, Asphyxious 1 and Thexus. So both lots of dudes, and they had like, so many things they could do, but like there's like no threat range extenders in my Gatsby list. It was just like, here are the dudes, they're just gonna try and nuke things. Just whatever. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why we didn't do super well as a whole, all the Dark Operations players. But even on the Sweden Asgard team, they got second. I don't think that Oscar Seebeck, like the top Dark Operations player, I don't think he even had a great win-loss ratio. Maybe they bust them or whatever, but I think we had similar lists, and we both didn't do well.
Yeah, I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that last year they were a big dark horse, and then this year people were more prepared. And like you said, it seems like Thexus has, he's really really good, but maybe the second caster in it doesn't help the player as much.
Yeah, there's like weird stuff like that. Also, like there's just so much, like Big Pig does things. Like, how you gonna handle Big Pig if you don't have your own Big Pig? Dark Operations is a good Big Pig. There's a whole bunch of, it was Big Pig everywhere, like every list basically.
Yeah, they had the Big Pig parade.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That was cool.
There's a lot of pigs with googly eyes on them.
Yes, there were.
That's hilarious.
There's lots of mastodons too.
What were you playing, Phil?
I played Chimera, so Kirax and Shiris. I really enjoy Kirax. He's a lot of fun, and he's really strong. So it's a good list to play. It gives a lot of people fits when everything are 17 inches. It's definitely a lot of fun, and I'll the more I play it, I start like finding all these different tricks, like using like repo and the feet triggers to move the models in different positions to then get more advantageous charges, or being able to pull something through with the lashers. Like that combination is really really gross. Just each one can take like 3 guys off the board pretty efficiently on feet turn, and you can just kind of chew through a lot. So I played him for the 5 matchups. I played Shiris only once. But yeah, Kirax double wyverns are it's a thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Andy?
Yeah, so I played Brine Bloods. I played a pairing of Ragemonger and Boomhowler. I played, so both my lists were fairly standard, I would say. The Ragemonger list had 4 Quartermaster units in it. Boomhauer list was largely a bunch of dudes in a battle brig. So liked both of them a lot. I played Boom Howler 3 times and Ragemonger twice. Yeah, I think it was really, really good, really fun. I'm having a ton of fun with the Brine Bloods. I think it's definitely my favorite army that I've played from both the play style and the aesthetics standpoint. They're really awesome, and they're, I think, largely pretty straightforward. Like I was saying before the call, it's like kind of make stats big, and that's really their stick. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cadre is going to definitely bring definitely a new play style to them, which will be good because it's going to give you those magic weapons that you so desperately need.
Yeah, I actually had the cadre with me. And I had 2 totems in the Ragemonger list, and there's one game in particular where they came in super handy. Against Dusk, I was able to kill Dissus and a few spooky ghosts by having my dude within the range of it was big. So yeah, the totems make a huge, huge difference. I also played the Vrogger. Vrogger's pretty cool. The fact that you could give another +2 to hit, just like the hit fixing you can stack is insane. With Brian Bloods. And I played the Fugue Walker in Boom Howler. He's pretty cool. I had one instance where he killed, I think, 8 or 9 of the small base chimera things, the stalkers, by like going into a pile of them and doing his berserk battle plan. That was pretty sweet. So frogs are great. I was happy to be able to incorporate them.
Did you play those I can't remember what their names. They got the masks on and
Yeah,
they do like an anti magic. Because I remember playing against you and those guys were really really annoying.
They helped me kill Big Pig once, because they're like incredible into Big Pig because they're POW 14 with innate blessed, so you don't have to use the card to get them there, and you can buff them up to POW 18. So yeah, they on average do like 28 damage or something like that to Big Pig. They like almost kill them with just the 3 of them.
Nice.
So they're pretty sweet.
I got a question, Chris. Do you think if you had some rag spells, it would have helped you out?
Oh God.
Maybe,
Ladies and gentlemen.
but I guess it would depend on what the spells are.
Oh, okay.
Texas doesn't need a better spell list.
No, Les is getting on the whole. He wants
Yeah.
legacy factions to have
Legacy
rag spells.
faction just has spell rag spells.
I don't think Texas in particular needs more spells because he's already got like 7 spells, and a lot of those spells are rack spells already. I think, like D-Cell.
Guys, this section is brought to you by Friends for Rack Spells in Legacy Armies.
Rack with a WR, right? WR.
Yeah, Racks. And Les is he's the leader.
So something I've always, like, even driving, I struggle with sometimes is how do you travel with your models, especially these new resin models?
So I guess I spent a lot of time on this because like I went to a tournament earlier this year, which was the very first time that I flew with models, and my strategy was to take a regular carry-on case and put the I saw all my I transport via magnetic things, so like just magnetic trays, and I put the trays in the regular carry-on case and threw a bunch of foam in it. Terrible idea. Broke a bunch of models. Don't do that. So what I ended up doing was I bought another magnet case that was smaller than the one that I had, that was just small enough to fit in the carry-on. And that was great. I threw them in there, and it was a battle foam case that was like one of the battle foam cases that's the exact size of the carry-ons, and that worked perfectly. Nothing broke.
Would you store your underwear?
In the checked luggage.
Oh, all
Don't
right.
check the models.
He had his wife use her carry-on for him.
Yeah, Phil, how did you transport yours? Was it similar?
So my Warmachine bag's too big, so I asked Bill, who traveled previously, and he lent me some of his KR multi cases, and I was able to get all my models in the one, except for the second Wyvern that ended up Rick bringing for me, which I was borrowing from Ryan. So I was able to fit them all in there, and then I just got like one of those reusable shopping bags from Wegmans and just kind of shoved it in there. The only thing I couldn't fit was Big Pig, so I still have the foam that you gave me, John, with Big Pig, and I just put extra foam in there to kind of lock them in. And I basically had a bag with a box and a large base, a huge base foam there. So that was interesting. Yeah, I would recommend especially if I travel more. I'm going to look into a case to do something similar, but the KR multi cases are great because those cardboard boxes, they really do a good job of securing everything. So that ended up working for me.
Oh, good. Les, you have some KR multi cases, or did at
Yes.
least.
No, I still got them. That's my primary use, and I also have a bag that you can fit 4 of the cardboard boxes into. So it's all contained all in one spot and everything else. I really like them. The foam seems to be a lot softer and easier on the models.
I've noticed that's why I went to the Magna Rack, because my battle foam that I had was just destroying
Oh, it was
the
stripping
resin
paint.
models.
It was
Yeah.
a strip paint off the metal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about you? I mean, Chris, you taking Thexus and Gatsby, that's a lot of dudes.
It's fine. Little spindly guys. I also use KR Multicase. Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
And
Maybe they should.
I think we should.
I-
Now we should.
Yeah, right. I've used them for a while because the foam is a lot softer than the battle foam stuff, so like it doesn't like bounce off the foam and cause things to break. It's not super stiff. But I am a maniac and I check my KR bag, and I've done that multiple times. And JVM has done it, and it's good enough for him, so it's good enough for me.
You like to live
Aren't you worried if
dangerously.
that gets lost?
It's 2024. Who loses bags? Also, there's
Lots of
so
people.
many days before the event. We got there on a Tuesday, and the event wasn't until Saturday. So I had so many days just in case.
Gosh, could you imagine trying to find 2 lists that short
Oh, it would never
notice if
happen.
you're-
No.
especially a legacy army?
No. And honestly, there were like only 3 things that broke, like in transit, and it wasn't even that. Like it was like, oh, the machine rate's head fell off, whatever. Like a tactical Arcane score guy, his arm fell off. There wasn't anything special, and they were
That's a
metal
bad
models.
day.
They weren't the resin models. They were the metal models, but it was fine.
We'll just send it to Andy to have him pin it.
I used Andy's glue instead.
That's true. I did bring glue.
Glue that he brought on his carry-on?
Yeah. I had my carry-on inspected on the way home, and the woman at whatever the German equivalent of TSA was very confused.
Cannot imagine why she would be confused at all.
You had to have the talk.
They also had to inspect my backpack, which had a magic deck in it, and I got the same woman, and I walked over there, and she's like, "Oh, it's you again. You got more nerd stuff from me." I'm like, "Yep."
So, any highlights? Like, Andy, what was your favorite game that you played?
Okay. So let me set the stage. I'm playing against Seraphil, one of my most hated casters. I can't stand Seraphil. Really hope she gets a nerf. Anyway, Ragemonger into Seraphil. This is, I think, the turn after her feat turn had gone on. And basically, end of her turn, she is standing behind a building on Zero Camp with D-Cell up. And, of course, Seraphil has, keyword salad on her card, so everyone thinks that she's safe and is never going to get assassinated, right? Well, the cool thing about my Ragemonger list is I can stack +7 to hit. So I got a Pig Dirge, which is the small balloon, within 5 for marked target. That's 2. I got the Vrogger within 5 for Paralytic Gaze. That's up to 4. I had Stormjaw within 10 of the Quartermaster, so that's 5. And then the Quartermaster's mini feat themselves gives them +2 to hit. So that's +7 to hit on the Quartermasters. And she had like a dozen shield guards by her as well. So a dozen shield guards behind a wall. I'm like, no problem. I got Quartermasters who are just going to spray her. So I position all my hit buffs into play, and I hadn't used my feat yet either. And I feated, and I was able to get 2 Quartermasters onto her that were Rat 13, which means I mathematically cannot miss because Seraphil's a Def 16 with Blade Shield, I think. Whatever she has that gives her +2 defense. She's Def 16, so I need a 3 to hit. The lowest value you can roll with Ragemonger's feat on 2 dice is 4. So auto hit, boom, boom, 2 Quartermasters, blew her head off. It was probably one of the most satisfying things I have done in a game of Warmachine.
Awesome.
And he was like, "Oh, I did not realize you could stack that many hit buffs. I thought I was safe behind the building." I'm like, "Yeah." So that was awesome.
Man.
That was
That's
a lot of fun.
glorious.
It
That
was.
is glorious.
That's good to look out for.
Yeah.
Oh, Ragemonger is no joke, man.
Yeah,
his
feat's really good.
Yeah, true story. I was showing my son Warmachine over the weekend, and I pulled out my Brine Bloods, and I'm like, "Here, try this guy."
Look, all your 1s are 6s.
Both, yeah, he was so happy about that. He's like, "Wait, I missed it's 1s." And I'm like, "Nobody, it's 6s." And he's like, "What?"
That is
So
awesome.
both games we played, he basically just assassinated me because I forgot. I forgot how far he can reach and how accurately and how hard he hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun watching Andy play because he'll be like, once, and he'll take the dice and he'll like flip it over right in front of you. Be like,
Yep.
Take that.
Yeah, he is spiteful.
All right, Chris, what about your favorite game moment?
I don't. It's my first game that I played, and unfortunately, the only win I had of the weekend. But the first round we played into Spain Rogue, and I was playing into Brine Bloods. All the Brine Bloods talk. I was playing into Shadow Tongue. What happened? I went first. I ran everything up super far. My opponent was like, "Oh, his turn 1." He's like, "I can take my Battle Brig and I can arc spells through it." So he flew it up there, and he's like, "I'm gonna gallows your big pig, who's in a Dust Devil," which is fine. Spells don't care about Dust Devils. And he just happened to roll 6 to drag my big pig 6 inches forward. Still in a Dust Devil, but whatever. So that his big pig, because he was playing big pig in Shadow Tongue. I've never seen big pig in Trolls, but there it was. So on turn 1, his big pig could shoot my big pig that was in a Dust Devil. That's how far forward I was. He shot it. He didn't kill it because the dice math wasn't there anyways. And then I was very happy because my Carver in Dark Operations, Carver's pretty good because offensively he can do well because of the ability on the Mindbender unit. They've got Adrenal Flood. And Adrenal Flood, you give a friendly faction model +3 mat, strength effectively, and armor. And it stays on for a round. So I was able to feat. Carver charged in, murdered the Battle Brig by himself, still had a Fury, after healing Big Pig. So he murdered a Battle Brig, healed Big Pig, and was in range for Big Pig to charge his Big Pig, do all the thing, murder it, whatever. On his turn, he threw a heavy and like a Marauder unit at Carver, and he tanked it all. And then my opponent had Shadow Tongue on 0 camp, standing within charge range of both Big Pig and Carver. And he kind of just forfeit there. So I was happy because of the ridiculousness of the game. I was like, yeah, I mean, you were probably going to die, but it was fun. So Carver got to go murder a balloon and tank all the.
You popped the
tank all
balloon,
the-
huh?
Yep, that was my favorite game.
And how about you, Phil?
I had a lot of fun games. I think the one that I'll talk about was against the Troll Bloods player. They were playing Berka. So can't remember. I think I went second. I chose to go second because of the way the scenario was. And then I instantly hear Andy saying, "I'm so glad I chose to go first because it's perfect for this scenario." So I was like, "Oh God, what did I do?" And then, and then I, he ran up the board. I got just out of his charge ranges, and then he just ran up and engaged most of my stuff and feeded. And he left Bearcut next to a building. So I just said, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to kill all this stuff, and you're going to make all my stuff stationary. So that's bad. And I'm not going to be able to push back on scenario. So I'm just going to try and kill Bearcut. And he had a unit of champs in front. So what I did was the Lashers did Lasher things by killing a few things and pulling stuff out of the way to get my one wyvern free so I could charge Bearca. And then the second wyvern, I don't remember how I got that one free. It was probably Lashers again. And so I had both wyverns where I could get onto Bearca, but I had to do like a hit and run to try to get them both in there. So then I had to deal with all the champs. So I charged in the knights, and they did a lot of work to get through the sanguine bond. And then the first unit of Lashers freed the wyvern, and the second unit of Lashers came in to pull the champs, but he had stumbling drunk. So I would drag and they'd stumble away, and then I'd drag them back and stumble away. So eventually I was able to eat enough to get 2 landing spots so I didn't have to worry about hit and run because the knights did a lot of work. And then I send in Kirax to proc Alpha Hunter with Vortex up, and he ended up hitting Bearca pretty hard where I got through most of his transfers. I think he only had 1 left by the time I sent in the first Wyvern. And then, because I was out of practice, I totally forgot that while stationary, you don't have a melee range. So we still applied Vortex by accident. But the nice thing is the Wyvern killed him pretty quick with the charge attack and the hits that I still had like 2 or 3 buys left on it by the time he died. And we didn't realize that until we were having a beer afterwards. But we said it was probably fine because I had a second wyvern that was going to be able to come in all the attacks. What was I, like Mat 9? So I think I was like 5 to hit. I hit everything. So I still probably would have gotten there. So that was an error on my part that neither one of us noticed. But the nice thing, it was only like 2 or 3 attacks, so it wasn't that game changing, but it was still a really good game because I had to really figure out how the hell I'm going to do this because, like I said, he jammed me and everything turned stationary. So the nice thing is I could still repo and then they're stationary. So I couldn't get any Kirax attacks off with the feet. So I had to use those to really better position my models to then get the work done to basically clear up the 2 wyverns. But the nice thing is that Kirax did a ton of damage, and that basically made it really easy for the other 2 wyverns to finish the job. Without Vortex, we'll say.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'm sad for my boy Bearca, but
Yeah,
I'm happy for you.
appreciate it.
No, he needs to die.
Was it was it against was that South Africa that you guys were playing against?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, but you played against Michael?
I think so. Yeah, he has the He has a couple
He's pretty cool.
tattoos. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
We did. I did a shot. They gave out shots before, so I did moonshine afterwards, and then the Strobola at the end of the tournament. But yeah, they were pretty cool. They gave out some drinks and stuff. That reminds me though, Andy drank all the beer that the Belgian team gave us, which was very. So I like.
No. So the Belgian team, the Belgian team.
Story's going to go. I'll tell the real one real quick. So they give 5 beers for us to have as a gift. And so, the round's over and Andy's just sitting there, I think with Chris, and he like opens all 5 beers and he's like, well, no one's here. So I guess I got to drink them all. And
No. Bill's leaving out a few critical details here.
Just gone. And then he for not cracked all the beers at once for 2 people. So
okay. So let me fill in some gaps here. So the beers were, none of them were twist tops. They all needed to be opened. No one had a bottle opener. So I go search the whole hall of WTC to finally found a person who has a bottle opener, and I borrowed it. And I went over and I'm like, I'm just going to open all of these right now because we're all here and we're all going to drink them, right? So I opened them all, went back, gave the bottle opener, drinking my beer, finished my beer. And then by the time I'm done with my beer, which is, I don't know, 15 minutes later, whatever, I look over the table. They're still all there, all open, just sitting there.
I had mine. I was drinking mine.
Yeah, Chris had his. The rest of them are just sitting there. I don't know where Phil went. I don't know where Travis went. I don't know where Chuck went. They're just off, lollygagging around. So I'm like, well, we're about to leave the venue. Like, I'm not going to let this fantastic beer go to waste that our gracious opponents gave to us. So I made sure that it didn't go to waste.
So Andy started just downing beer.
Yeah.
Once again, we're there. He opened all 5 beers and then finished them. The best part about this story, though, is when we get back to the hotel and we're standing outside the hotel with there was one of the Swedish players there. I forget his name. You remember his
Brian
name?
Bud's player. I don't remember his name. No.
Hysterical. So we're talking about like.
Oh, was it Peter?
Yes, Peter.
The guy who's Peter. Yeah.
The guy who's
from Euromachine. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also awesome guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never met these people, but they seem pretty cool.
Oh, he's fantastic. So first we're talking about like English grammar and how we don't pronounce half our consonants and how we spell stuff funny, like that, right? And then he starts explaining how the different Swedish teams were named after, like Asgard, Midgard, and I think the other ones, but the different levels of the mythology. And Andy's just sitting there like not understanding any of it, not making the connection that like the best was Asgard because that's what the gods are, like the lowest ranking team. I can't remember that one, but that's like
hell something.
Yeah, and so like not getting any of this, and like everyone else like got it because he drank all the good beer, wasn't able to figure it out. And then it finally clicks, and he's like, "Oh wait, is that why you did it?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's the whole story." And then like he's explained to him, he's like, "No, I know all this stuff. I played God of War. I played God of War 1 and 2." And it's like, how do you not know any of this stuff? If you
yeah, we went to all those realms in God of War.
Oh my god,
that's great.
That's awesome. I got a quick question for you folks. You guys said you showed up on Tuesday and the games didn't start till Saturday. So I know, Andy, you brought somebody along with you, right?
Yep.
And what did you guys do culturally out there while you were doing non-Warmachine related? What was one good best thing that you saw out there or did that wasn't Warmachine related that was pretty cool? Andy?
Do it, Andy.
I feel like this will be everyone's answer, and it's the obvious one from what we saw as the cathedral in Cologne. That was pretty incredible. So we took a train to Cologne from where we were staying, which was a little ways away from Dusseldorf. We basically stayed in an Airbnb that Chris and Seth coordinated for us. So there are basically 2 apartments. The 2 apartments are in the same building that had like, I don't know what, 6 bedrooms or something like that in each of them. So like pretty much most of the USA players stayed in one of those two rooms, and one of the guys actually, I think Aaron, went and grabbed some 4x4 plywood from the hardware store nearby, and we set up tables and like we were playing games and practicing games and stuff at the Airbnb. So that was one of the big things we did there, was just
That's pretty
practicing
cool.
games and stuff like that. But yeah, we went in sightseeing, and yeah, I think the cathedral in Cologne was incredible. How big that was, it's insane. And I learned from Rick, because he visited afterwards, you can actually go to the top of it, which I don't think we didn't know when we,
Oh, wow.
we saw it. So we missed out on that, but it was really cool.
Did you go back?
No, it was like 90, probably 93 degrees Fahrenheit, like the day afterwards when I was still there. I'm like, I'm not climbing this thing in this heat.
No.
No way.
Would you ever go back to visit? Say that it
Oh.
was like today. You know, Utica, it's what, 60 degrees all day, cold and rainy.
I would definitely visit Germany again. I would probably not do it during the summer. I would make sure it's a little bit cooler time of year.
Yeah, like the fall is probably better.
Yeah.
So, did you drink more water or beer?
Beer.
I drank more beer.
Okay,
Than
just
water.
curious. What about you, Chris? What was the coolest thing that non-Warmachine thing that you saw?
The non-Warmachine thing. So I'm just a super cultured person, and I've already been to Germany. This is my third time in Germany.
Oh,
No, I went in high school, and then I went with my wife on vacation, and then like a few years ago before COVID, and then we're back. So I had already visited Cologne like twice before. So, but I'd never gotten. So it's a German thing, but it's not really German because all the ice cream places, they're really like little mini Italian places. You go to an ice cream place, and the people working there, they're all Italian, and you get your gelato, and you could get your pizza or whatever too. But they have a thing in German. It's called spaghetti ice. It's ice cream
Medios?
in the shape of spaghetti. It's like the gelato or whatever is pushed through like a little extruder thing. Looks like pasta noodles, right? And then you put like strawberry sauce, like whatever on it, and it looks like spaghetti. It's really good. It's just ice cream.
It sounds
So
pretty
you
cool.
said it's like Italian ice, or is it like
No,
actually like
no.
dairy ice cream?
It's gelato.
Oh, gelato.
Gelato.
Yeah, it's not like custard. It's not like hard ice cream. It's gelato, basically.
Yeah, Chris doesn't eat ice cream; he eats gelato.
But yeah, it's really cool. Like you could Google pictures of it. It's really cool. Like if you type in spaghetti, like normal spaghetti, and then EIS, that's the way to spell ice cream. Ice. You'll see pictures of it. It looks like it's actually spaghetti. So that was fun. I never had it before, but I've heard about it in German class, stuff like that.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you can Google it. It's cool.
See,
And then
SPAG.
oh, is that a thing? Oh, whatever.
HETTI.
You know how to spell spaghetti?
EIC. You said no. Yeah, I didn't.
I don't think culturally though, like there was anything else that super stood out. The transportation was a lot more complicated than it was last year in Copenhagen. I'll say that. It was not as fluid, but also like when we were traveling, we were going even into like the older part of the city was like more complicated than it needed to be, I think. Like when we did in Copenhagen, we went on a train and the train brought us there. We had like a little pass. You could do that kind of in Germany, but like you had to like get a one-way ticket every like €3, and like getting between the regional trains and the non-regional stuff and the buses, it was like more of a hassle. We constantly thought we were missing our train, and
very non-intuitive.
yeah, it's not intuitive.
Did having a little bit of background with your German help navigating a lot of this, or?
I mean, like I knew some words and stuff, not the trains and stuff, no, because I never really did it when I was there before. But like I understood, general cultural stuff, and then a bunch of the words. But also, Seth brought his daughter Jamie too, and she's been taking German classes in high school, and so like she was super excited, and she like pointing out all things and telling people how to say all the words, and yeah,
That's cool.
made Phil learn how to say thank you, and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So Phil, how do you say "where's the bathroom" in German?
Where's the bathroom?
No.
English.
Or do you just kind of hold it and give it that look?
I mean, most of the time you could just say, "Where's the bathroom?" and they'll be like,
all right.
it's over here.
Yeah.
Damn
Americans.
Bro, right, Andy?
Yep. Yeah. My excuse for whenever did something wrong was I'm just a stupid American. Like when I was dropping them off at the airport, and there was a sign. There was a sign that said "boost only" where I parked. I didn't know what a boost was, so I just parked there.
I have a pretty good idea.
Fine. I didn't know. I didn't know what boost only meant, so just ignored it.
Boost.
I think it sounds like a great time. I wish I could make it sometime.
You didn't ask Phil, did you?
No, Phil still
You
has
ask
to tell us culturally what he really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leaving him out,
Oh,
Les.
old man.
I'm sorry.
Jumping in the gun.
So,
I
yeah.
just wanted to go to the bathroom with Phil.
You see me? Oh. Yeah, definitely the Cologne Cathedral was incredible. I remember when I first walked in, a lot of the architecture, like looking up, reminded me of the scene from Lord of the Rings where they go into the mines of Moria and Dwero-Delph, and I just told myself, like, they call it a mine, a mine. It's beautiful, but it reminded me of that so much. The one thing I really wanted to do when I was in Europe, because I went early to visit my family in Poland, and then spent time with obviously my friends in Germany. So there's not a lot of great souvenirs to buy because a lot of stuff you can get in the States too, or you just get something with like "I was here" printed on a T-shirt. So the big thing I wanted to do was to try all the different foods that I could eat while I was there, and there was a lot of great meals. But I think my favorite one in Germany was the first meal we had, not the steakhouse, even though that was fantastic. The first meal we had, we went to this place within walking distance. I think it was like 10 minutes. So in German, I guess the classic beer type is alt beer, and all the different restaurants make their own alt beers. They brew all their own stuff. So I was trying all the different alt beers while I was there. But this place, they had a really nice beer, and I got these pork tenderloins in a chanterelle sauce with these like mashed potato fried like sticks on it. I don't like mushrooms. I never eat them because I don't like the texture. These things were delicious, like absolutely fantastic. Entire meal was amazing. I had probably like 2 or 3 beers, the tall ones. So it was just a fantastic meal. And every time we sat down, I was just like, I'm just gonna. This is my souvenir: is just taking pictures and eating all these fantastic meals and drinking all this great beer. And that was probably my favorite. The only other thing I'll say that was really awesome too, there was parts of Germany where you had all these different shops and restaurants and like brick roads where people could walk, where you couldn't have cars. So it was kind of like this like small town feel in the city. And when we went to the steakhouse, which was excellent, apparently the Australians were across the street at a bar, and they were messaging for all the people to come by and hang out with them. So right after we ate at the steakhouse, which was amazing, we went over and we are just drinking tons of beers with a bunch of the different teams, and that was a ton of fun the night before. I think it was Thursday night. Does that sound right?
I think so.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, it was Thursday night. It wasn't Friday
it was
night.
pretty tanked, and it was just a real fantastic evening. So that was really my favorite part. What I took for it was all the different meals. I wanted to try foods that were, unique to Germany and Poland while I was there, because it's a lot different than American cuisine. So I just I don't care what it is, I'm going to eat it, and it was fantastic.
It's great. Sounds
That's
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
I'm hungry and I just ate.
I'm hungry now, and I'm not allowed to eat now.
So let's talk about something that is near and dear to Les's heart. Your jerseys.
Yeah.
Who came up with
You
that
guys won the
idea?
jersey of the year,
Jersey.
didn't you?
It was Travis. Travis came up with the jersey design. So if
There's
no
a-
one knew, all the U.S. teams, they're all based on American authors. So
How do you pronounce your team?
it's Crichton.
Just Crichton, like Triton with a C?
Sure. So that's the guy who wrote Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and no one knows that. Well, I didn't know that. I'm bad.
I didn't know.
Other
Yeah.
people knew that. So we had was it Sleepy Hollow was the Headless Horseman. It was a Headless Striker was on Irving. So it was Striker 3 holding his own head. That was their jersey, and then the other one,
Herbert.
gosh, Herbert was Dune. So
Interesting.
they had Dune Worm and the little guy riding on him. That was their jersey. But ours was, everyone wanted our jersey.
You know how much speculation
wonder.
it went through Facebook after people posted that jersey?
All those weird
Oh
pictures.
my God.
The sideways picture, the U.S. team, do they have insider knowledge? All those pictures were of my jersey. I posed for all those pictures.
Did you want to describe the jersey for those that didn't see it? Well, I mean, you probably have to be living under a rock.
It is Rexy.
Yeah, we still didn't know who the Hawk
from it's Rexy from Jurassic Park with Kraos 2 riding on Rexy, and it's Menoth riding dinosaurs, obviously. So
nice.
Oh, the Facebook went nuts. I don't know if you guys saw it over there, but
yeah.
Oh my God, people
Travis
went
was
nuts.
very proud of that. Of
Oh,
how
yeah.
much discourse
he
there
should have
was.
been.
Well, especially with it being Travis.
Yep, exactly.
I think you guys could have mass produced that and made a killing.
We're ordering more. Everyone wanted so many that I ended up giving all 3 of mine away. So I'm going to order another one for myself. Yeah, so I think she's going to try and open up so we can order some more of those, because that was a fantastic jersey. It really was.
I'd be
The best one ever.
in buying one.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have one that I kept for less, and Zosha is opening up orders, but I don't know if it's to general people or just WTC players. But
we can always order them.
Yeah, right. We can order them for people.
I might have to message Zosha about that.
But she said maybe she might do something with actually making it so that people could just generically order them. But I don't know. I don't want to put words in her mouth. So, and the person who did the design was Florian. He did a great job. He was also there at WTC selling prints and stuff. And actually, Travis got the original print. He bought the original print of it too. So
nice.
Oh, I see a tattoo in the future.
Sure.
So tradition that happens there is the jersey swap. Who'd you guys swap with?
A lot of people.
Yeah. I
Andy
swapped.
or Phil.
Sorry, I'll just finish. So I swapped with the Netherlands Van Gogh team because I love the whole gremlins on the windmill.
Oh yes,
back.
that was really cool.
I traded with the Crix player that I played against. Very nice guy. I traded with the Australian team that won because they had a giant siege animatrix on the back, and that's one of my favorite models. I've been scoring for a long time. And then the last one I got was I can't even remember now. Spain with their Chimera player, so it has like some Chimera stuff on the front too. So that was I got 3 really nice jerseys. I was really happy with the ones that I ended up with.
Yes, Spain always brings their A game with the jerseys.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I got one from Spain. I got Canada one. I got the guy we were talking to in that parking lot. Forgot Peter.
Peter.
Got his, which was awesome because it was like Brian Blood's on it as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's one other, I think Norway. I think we got one of them. I don't know. Brandy grabbed a couple of them as well. I can't remember which one she got. So yeah, we got a bunch.
That's cool.
Nice.
Chris?
I got one. So the first day before we even did anything, there was a guy on Germany Einkirchen, which is Germany squirrels. The guy wanted to trade. I was like, sure. You like the Menoth jersey? Yeah, we'll do it. And so then he gave me it, and then turns out last round we played each other. I was like, oh look, we don't have to trade because we already traded. So I got the Germany squirrels one, and I believe it was his. All of the jerseys were unique to the players, so his was like a ninja because he was playing Chimera. So I got one of those. I got one from Netherlands Van Gogh, the Kador player. I got his, so it's like a gremlin with the Kador symbol on a flag. I got one from Muscles from Brussels. We played them the 3rd round. That was cool. I don't know the guy in the back of it. Do you guys know who was on the back of that jersey? There's a guy doing a split. I don't know who it was.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Is that it? Was Van Damme? Okay, I wasn't
think
sure
so.
if it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's
Is he-
The
he's
muscles from
Belgian.
Brussels.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, because the back of the jersey was him holding like plates of muscles or whatever. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's a cool jersey. That one is a little small on me though. It says it must be some European XL because American XL doesn't fit. But if I wear it, then I'll just be really bulgy and it'll be like I have muscles.
Yeah.
Kinda. Not really.
Yeah. You be muscles from Brussels.
Yeah. And then what else? I got. Was that it? I think that was it. I got one more. Yes, because I had a bunch of jerseys. I had 5 jerseys. But I saved one for less. So I had those 3, and then I gave away the last one I was wearing, which was all sweaty on Sunday. I gave it away because a guy from the Italian team, wanted to just trade. I was like, sure. He's like, I play Menoth. I'd really like it. And I was like, it's my last one. I'm like, yeah, you can have it. And so I transitioned to a different jersey that we had, and I got his, and it was like a medium. I ain't fitting in that. So my wife can wear that one then. That's fine. That was cool.
That's great.
I mean, it sounds like you guys had a great time over there.
Yeah,
overall,
awesome.
just nice positive experience. It sounds like, which is really good. It
looks like the Americans had a good showing, with Michael and their team.
Right.
Are we ever going to have Rick on this podcast?
Mike and Rick.
We have not.
They're probably going on the more important podcast.
They're gonna go be with Ryan.
With Ryan, huh?
Yeah, Ryan and Nate are trying to get him.
Yeah.
We all know which one's better.
What do
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are more about the community, you know.
Yeah, because I don't know the rules for.
Speaking of the community, I did have a kind of a broad question for you guys. Because you three you live in Buffalo, and you had two Buffalonians that also went to the WTC and Team Irving, and just wanted to kind of get like a backstage pass to like practicing and getting ready for WTC as like a group, because I'm in the chat that you guys have for game nights, and it seems like you guys always were very like talk about the game and get together for games and all that kind of stuff. So I know you guys practice a lot, and you had for example, you had Cody playing multiple factions to get you guys some practice against different armies.
Yeah, basically, like, it's like once the lists were all released, everyone that wasn't going to WTC basically like just played whatever list we wanted them to play based on like the list that were on there. So that was great. I think the rest of the guys in Buffalo that weren't going were like a big help for all of us and like getting us practices into the exact lists that were like kind of showing up there. So that was pretty sweet. I think it was kind of like a community effort to try and help the people going be as best prepared as possible. So it was really cool.
Anything you guys saw at the WTC that you might want to bring back to the local community, like game wise, like community wise, anything like that you saw?
I think one of the nice things about the WTC is that everyone was just really happy to be there and really nice. And it's like it didn't matter who you ran into. It was just, people were just nice, very open about talking, helping each other out. It was like a giant community of people who like don't live near each other, which was really cool. And it kind of reminds me of, speaking of community, our community, where a lot of them did, work towards helping us prepare for the tournament. And it was definitely something that I noticed, because I love all the guys that I play with. They're all very nice people. I've known them now for years, and a lot of great friendships, and we're always like there for each other, whether it's for Warmachine or other stuff like that. It's a lot of nice people you can really count on. And right now, our chats are blowing up while we're on the podcast or talking about Warmachine and things like that. But that was also kind of something I noticed there too, that everyone was just super friendly and helpful, and I made a lot of nice friendships while I was there, and that's why I want to go back, because I want to see these people again. So some of the people I really connected with, there's one of the players on Team Spain, Petra, super nice guy. I love this story. He's from Malaysia, lives in Germany, but playing on Team Spain. So it was good. But we hung out a bunch and chatted. We were both playing Chimera, so we were talking about a lot of that stuff. Really nice individual. One of the guys who was playing First Army, Christian, the only guy playing First Army, was another really nice guy I ran into a bunch of times, and we would chat a bunch. So there was definitely, certain individuals that I remember spending time with, and just having an absolute great time. Like, games are over, everyone's hanging out at the bar, you just sit in this giant circle, and everyone's just talking and laughing and engaging with each other. And it was very very welcoming experience, which is why it was such a wonderful experience, because the people, one of the reasons why you go there, were just awesome. And that's a great community that I definitely want to go back to. And I appreciate that we have one here in Buffalo. It's kind of nice that we had 5 people go this year and perform well. So that kind of, shows that we do have a good meta, a strong meta, and that we can play this game fairly well. And so we're just trying to get better every day, and that's what we do as a group, is to help each other get better every day. But yeah, the community was pretty awesome there, and I think that's one of the best parts about the game um, is that the people are just A+.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've speaking of Buffalo, I've watched you guys flourish over the years, and I mean I've seen also over the years you guys have done well. You know, obviously locally, but like in like conventions and stuff like that. Like Boca Brawl, OTC, those kind of things. It's sort of like it's been over the years like a build up to you guys being able to attend WTC and compete well. Um, I also wanted to ask you guys what for you two that were first time goers. What advice do you have for someone that is maybe aspiring to compete at that level to maybe one day go to the WTC? What do you guys advise?
Make friends, honestly. Like a lot of it's, networking and knowing people, right? I think that's definitely a big part of it. Like even if you're not necessarily the best player, like being a good teammate, being a good dude or a person to have around, I think is like means a lot. As like captains are putting together teams, like they may not necessarily pick the best players, but like the people who they like want to go hang out with and spend all this time with and everything like that, right? So I think a lot of it is just like being a good part of the community and doing that stuff. And of course, some of it at least depends on your um I guess performance at events and things like that, especially if you want to be a captain. That's obviously like the application to be a captain, like, asks you to like fill out like, what is your performance at all, like all the regional events that you've gone to this year, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, of course that matters, and there's part of it, but I think that's not everything, right? That's kind of one thing that I would emphasize.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Andy said. You are representing, you know, your country, so you don't want to go there and be a dick. So
Right.
that's the thing. But yeah, it's a fun game, but it's also challenging, and you just have to, do the best you can, and as long as you can perform well, and just focus on being a good player, a good sport. That's a big part of it too, because you don't get there and hang out with all these people and develop relationships if you're not, um, if you're not like nice and things like that. Like you can be introverted, that's fine, but it's based on your behavior as well, and it's not just getting good at the game and knowing people who have played at that level and then be able to compete against them. It's also how you play the game. And I think that was one thing that I really enjoyed, is that all my teammates were really good sport, or all my opponents were really good sports. I knew I was on a team of good sports, so there wasn't going to be any issues like that. And after each one of my games, the players would compliment me. It was a great game. I enjoyed playing against you, which I enjoyed playing against them, and they complimented me. So your play was really clean, and you were really nice, and everything like that. And that's what makes the game fun. And that's why I like playing this game. And it all comes down to community. Like I love the community here in Buffalo because I enjoy the games, because I enjoy playing against the people. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. The game's supposed to be fun. And even though it was at WTC and it was, the highest competition, the game was still fun. And I think that's kind of the most important thing that you want to take away, but also give as the experience going. So, do the best you can, and just try to be, just play like you play with your friends, because that's the whole point. You want to enjoy it.
Awesome. Kyle.
Yeah. So, Chris,
I-
being
Les?
no, go ahead, Les.
Oh no. I'm getting tired, guys.
Oh gosh.
I was gonna say, Les looks like he's falling asleep.
It is past bedtime. He did say he went to bed at 8:30 last night.
Oh
I
my
did go to bed
gosh,
at 8:30
Les.
last. It's been a long week.
We're gonna have to do the old timers tournaments again, where we start at like 6 a.m.
Yeah, but
and
the old
it's
timers
done by noon, so he can take his afternoon nap.
Yep. Yep, the old
Yeah,
timers.
but you're done by noon. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I get killed a lot.
I offer him the matinee games sometimes. You know, it's like come early bird special.
Yeah,
Come
7 in the
early, leave
morning.
early. Yeah.
Get home by bed by 5.
Yep. Gotta be home by. Oh God. I'm happy for you guys. I'm jealous. I wish I could make it to one of these things. And I will someday. It's on a bucket list, so be careful. I might show up when you least expect me.
Les, I mean, we can just all make a trip where we go to a different country and just play Warmachine. Doesn't have to be the World Team Championship.
And invite everyone to go play.
Just crash one of the English,
Let's not call it
the Welsh Masters or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
The American invasion. I had one more question. I don't know if you the other two co-hosts have more questions. But I just wanted
Did
to
everybody
ask.
freeze up?
Oh.
No.
Andy, shake your head.
Andy?
Andy froze.
Andy's camera
Andy
died, his
froze up.
audio still working.
Yeah, his
Oh,
audio.
yeah,
is
his
still
audio's working. Oh, there he goes.
Is it back up?
Yes.
Thanks for Andy. Thanks for putting a shirt on. I appreciate that.
Yeah, those muscles from Brussels.
Oh, yeah.
were showing up.
I didn't realize you had a third nipple. I'm impressed.
Uh-oh, we're getting a little past PG. So yeah, before we leave, I wanted to ask you guys what your goals were for 2025. They could be WTC related or just gaming in general related, or a hobby or whatever. So, how about you, Phil?
So I'm having Andy paint all of my models because I can't painting. Love playing fully painted armies, but I got the itch real bad. Like when I went to WTC, I was a little nervous at first because I didn't have the prep I wanted going in. But when I got there, like I said, all 5 games were close. Could have gone either way. And I felt like I can really hang with this crowd, which was a huge confidence boost for me. But I got the itch real bad. So I'm going to Michigan in September. I'm hitting Boker.
Nice.
Sussy Scuffle in October. We're talking about LVO in January. I'm obviously going to Boker Brawl. I'm going to try and hit as many as I can and just keep getting better. I like the faction I'm playing. I feel like my game's progressing, and I just want to I want to go again. So I just want to kind of get maps, start going to as many tournaments as I can, perform as best as I can, and eventually over the next year or two, hopefully I can get invited again. Based on that, so like I said, I got the itch real bad. I just want to keep playing. I'm just excited because I know we're gonna get more stuff soon for Chimera. I don't know soon, but over the next year we'll probably get more models. So I'm just excited to just start play testing as much as I can. And I got, like I said, I got it real bad.
In other words, you switch from Scorn.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing. I switched from Scorn so I can play better.
I mean, maybe.
You really wanted that spell rack.
I love it so much, but it's different enough where I want to do Mark III things and I can't. And I'm jealous of the spell rack. Like, I'm totally. I put my army down. You're like, oh, I'm going to take this and this. And I'm like, that's BS, man. I take stuff too. So
Dude, the only
I'm gonna die on that molehill with you, Les, with
Yep.
our rack.
the only thing keeping me in legacy is the Arcana. So
Yeah.
What about you, Andy? 2025.
Well, painting all Phil's models, obviously. I am incredibly eagerly awaiting the impending nerfs to Pig and Kruger. It's probably the thing I'm most excited about in terms of Warmachine is seeing
Oh,
those two
wow.
models nerfed. Because
In the Grottons.
So sell. You're
Well,
saying
Telltale, correct, yeah. One of those models I can't use, and the other one does not synergize well with the faction I play. So, yeah, hoping they're nerfed into the ground, and I don't have to see them anymore. That'd be great.
Then you'll see Invictus.
Which I'm fine with. That's totally fine. Yeah, so I think honestly I feel very similar to Phil. I had a great time at WTC. I definitely want to go again. Want to try and hit up as many tournaments as I can. Meet new friends, play some games, and hopefully to continue to improve as a player and yeah, just and hopefully also get like some more people involved in the community. I think we have a really good community here, but it'd be great to grow it a little bit. Get some new players in as well. So yeah, that's me.
Chris.
It's all me. So I had great times with Dark Operations. I'm going to put them. They're already on a shelf in my basement, and I'm waiting for my Necrofact.
Oh
Uh,
Christ. Oh,
so whenever that
screw
comes
me.
in, I'm
Oh
gonna be
man.
painting all that and
Really?
playing it. So
Oh.
I've never played Crix, but I wanted to play Crix in Mark II when I was thinking of a second faction to play outside of Signar. It was between Scorn and Crix, and I chose Scorn. I never got to play Crix. Now I do own a whole bunch of Crix because Phil gave me a whole bunch of Crix, but
It was
I haven't played them. It was Bills and yeah, yeah. So yeah, I have a bunch of Crix, but I'm not super interested in the legacy Crix. But maybe here and there. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing them, painting them up. That's my main thing. Also, my convention stuff is gonna slow down a bunch because my wife and I are expecting in January, so things are gonna slow
Congratulations. We
down a
didn't
lot for
know.
me.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't know that.
Be a
Yeah.
daddy.
We've
I
been on
know.
this podcast for 2 hours now, and now you're bringing it up.
Yeah, right.
hell?
Just don't want
Exclusively
to spoil
on
it.
Hey,
exclusively
you
on
had to
hell?
Arcane's
listen.
decision.
Exactly.
You had to listen till the end.
Yep.
So yeah, my convention last year I went to LVO and then 2 weeks later went to Captain Con and then went to AdeptCon and
You're
Bokur
busy.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So this year is not nearly going to be as busy, or next year, 2025, it's not nearly going to be as busy. I'm not going to be able to travel as much, obviously, but I still plan on keeping things local, trying to grow the community. Besides painting Necrofactorium, I own. Everyone thinks I'm crazy here, but I own every battle box, and I have them all so that I could do demo games for people. But I need people to give demo games too, and I feel like if I paint them up, it'll be cool. So maybe I'll do that
Yeah.
too, while I'm waiting for things. So having some demo armies and then in the display case at the store or something like that, that'd be cool. Then whenever someone comes, just take it out and do a demo with it. So that's my goals for next year. I'm not I would like to go to WTC again maybe in the future, but definitely not next year just because the way things are going to be, not having practice as much, and also just don't feel like this year I did as well as I would have wanted to do. So, reserve whatever spot I could have for someone else who's a little bit more deserving of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's a
not.
team.
It comes in
Yeah, it's a
waves,
team
right?
setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And it honestly in the US, we have so many people that could go on teams. If you think about it, every country gets 2 teams or up to 2 teams. And the US compared to Germany, like we have way more people here than are in Germany.
right.
So Germany is the size of like Montana. So
Yeah.
it's like not that ridiculous. So like we had an East Coast team and a West Coast team, and then our team, and our team was basically Travis
Lakes.
got an extra team spot. He got to be a captain, and the team selection method was not the most robust, but it worked. Hey, we got 11th place. Travis was like, "Hey, who wants to go to Germany with me on Facebook?" And I was like, "Me." So that was the level of decision making. And Travis is awesome. So he was, we were just making a cool team, and it ended up with 3 guys from Buffalo and 2 Infernals. So that was cool.
Yeah. That's great. That's awesome,
But
guys.
yeah, team wise, US has got a lot of potential. Not even just in Buffalo, like other places too. And let those people figure it out. I'm gonna stay local.
Well, speaking of that, do you have anything you're planning or anything now that you've been back for a few weeks? Like you're gonna try to do a journeyman or anything like that?
I know that. Well, I don't know if anyone. Maybe I should plan like a journeyman, something like that. Were you guys there yesterday for game day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Adam do demo games?
He
Yeah,
did
he
it
did one.
with 2 newer
Okay.
and 1 new player.
Okay, yeah. So see, Adam used to do all the the event coordination stuff, and he's still doing it a little bit. So it'd be cool if those people play more, and I guess yeah, just I think things still need to shake out a little bit more with SFG in order to want to do more tournament stuff, because like right now, I don't know how much you can immediately order.
Right.
So I think once that stuff kind of smooths out a little bit more, then I'll be more on the train to be like, yeah, let's get it in there. Ask the store if they are able to stock stuff or want to get a relationship with the whatever the what do you call it, the distributors and stuff like that. So I don't want to. I personally, right now, I wouldn't want to rush and be like, "Hey, get into the game." But right now, you can't buy everything that you want.
Right.
So, so that's maybe stuff in the future, maybe sometime next year. And also, I'm trying to think of like when the next tournament's going to be, type of thing, and I don't know.
Well, we got some stuff planned that you guys can come up for.
And you
maybe in
guys have
November,
stuff planned too, so I don't want to
Kyle.
schedule things when you guys have planned.
Take it away, Kyle.
Well, I mean, I just played in a 3-round event down in Cortland that David ran, and that was great. Train was great. I went 2-1, played Kane 4 the whole time. Seems like he's going to be somewhat solid. I'm interested to see what the gun mage is, but main thing we have coming up is November 9th. We're doing a food machine event. Buffalo, you guys used to do that every single year.
We did.
Every
oh,
single
that's how we met.
yeah.
Machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how we met all these guys. Was Food Machine.
And it's I just figured being in the Syracuse area, we can try to get more people from around the state. Like there's a couple Albany guys talking about coming up. I heard there's a couple Buffalo guys thinking about it. There's Syracuse guys, a couple of the Corning guys are talking about it. So it's going to be nice to get all these groups together to just do a nice charity event.
Mhm.
So it's going to be at Van Hassler Brewing in Liverpool again, where John has run a couple tournaments. Beer's really good there.
Awesome place.
Yeah, I can't wait. They do serve food now. I haven't had any of it yet, but I do plan on going before. The tater tots, the loaded tater tots they have look real good.
The food was really good, actually. It's it's bar food, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
They have
Healthy-
toddlers
healthy
running
too.
around and knock over your models.
If anyone is in the area, you're thinking about it, come out. It'd be a good time. Like I said, it's November 9th. We are limited in space, so we're going to cap it at 16, just to make sure that there's still room for other patrons for it.
we can talk about it if we end up filling up.
Yeah.
We might be able to.
But-
might be able to
Yeah,
expand a
they'll
little
be.
bit.
We'll be posting more on Facebook or.
Yeah, I'm going to be
Oh,
posting more on
Discord
Facebook. I have the cheats mostly finalized. So if you haven't heard of Food Machine, it's generally a charity event where you get to cheat. So you donate money typically.
Some of us do anyway.
Yeah. You donate money typically because food banks can do more with money than actual food donations. Every dollar they do, they can make it go about 3 times what you can. So it's the monetary ones are much better for them. So based on how much you donate, you can cheat things. You can cheat things as simple as taking an out of faction solo and making it faction. So you can do some really weird things. You can take an out of faction warcaster or warlock or infernal master, but I'm going to be putting in there that they have to follow if it's essence, fury, or focus, so it's not too confusing.
What about cohort model?
There's 3 levels of that. There's going to be the standard cohort, character cohort, and colossals, or gargantuans. So you can, but each of those give you the option of doing the lower one. So if the colossal one's the most expensive, but that's going to let you can take a colossal or a character or just a standard cohort. The character can be character or standard, and standard can just be standard. So it's going to give you options to do that. So there's 3 different tiers to do it. It's just how much you want to spend to do it. There's in-game ones where you can re-roll. You can give your things signs importance for a turn. A lot of these, if you use it more than once, they double, and then it adds up real quick. And usually it's Rick who just tells someone to re-roll a bunch. But no, it's a good time. You just come out, have some beers, have some food, roll some dice, have a good time for charity. Working on getting some good.
Are you gonna give legacy armies a spell rank? As a cheat?
Maybe if you pay for
Hey, I am going to have a wheel that you can spin that's going to have 8 different spells on it. You can pay to get a random spell, and you can do it twice.
There you go.
There'll be some
they good
duds.
spells?
There'll be some
Alright.
duds, and there'll be some
like
really good
that.
ones.
Oh, what's a dud? I want to know. No, I'm kidding.
I have a list of some of the
Arcane-
good ones, but
Arcane Bolt.
Yep.
Lightning.
let's see.
Yes.
Anything, any offensive spell in the
Eruption.
the Storm Legion spell rack. Any
Yep.
offensive spell in the Storm
Got
Legion.
it.
Those are the duds.
The ones that have no description. It's just basically just
But
a
no,
power 12 or something.
It's always a good time,
Yeah.
and I'm just looking
A power
forward to.
12 AOE 3.
I'm just looking
Sounds
forward to running it and not having to deal with it. But I hope you guys can make it. Yeah, like I said, November 9th. There's only a couple people signed up so far, but it's summer. Everyone's just coming back from WTC and some other events, so they're just kind of figure out their fall schedule.
I know I'm going.
Les?
Yeah, I'm sure see some of us Buffalo guys there. I plan on going, and I'll make sure I drag Rick along too.
When do you plan on putting out the cheats?
I'm going to be putting the rest of them out by the end of the week. I have a couple of them out, but I'm putting out the rest of them by the end of the week. I'm just finalizing a few.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys
But
plan what you want to do.
I plan on going, which means I should probably register, but I have to make a list, and I already have ideas.
But it is 100-point unlimited, so it's going to be absolutely insane to begin with.
That's fine.
Unlimited army?
Yeah. Well,
Unlimited legacy?
yeah,
Yeah.
unlimited legacy or unlimited whatever.
Yeah, so everything's in the game.
I
So
can bring the avatar?
That
In
is
there.
correct, sir.
He's salivating.
I can also bring the avatar.
I got an extra one if you need it. Oh God.
But I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking about your experience at the WTC. It sounds like you guys had a great time, and honestly, I'm jealous. I wish
Yep.
I could go do that.
Absolutely.
Love the stream. Love the streaming. So you in WTC land, thank you for the streaming.
Yeah, I think Steamforged at the end chipped in to get them to their goal on the GoFundMe
Did
or
they?
what the.
I
site
didn't
they
realize I was
used.
going to send them an email.
But Les, did you actually see the pictures of the streaming setup they had?
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
I still say they should do bum fights. Like you get two people that don't know how to play the game really,
My God.
that or they're really drunk. Then you put them on a stream and then you have everybody comment. I think it would be fun.
They're not going to know what the stream is saying, though.
We can get
Well,
tried
no.
and true on that
Yeah, we'll get tried and true to narrate
at the
it for
poker
everybody.
brawl.
but
I think it's a good idea. I volunteer myself. I do that. But
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your time and for your insight and for sharing your experiences. It's great to live vicariously through other people that get to do such cool stuff as going to a big tournament like the WTC. But and you guys
thanks
are
for
all
having us.
all right.
Yeah, thank you. It was a privilege.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Phil's finally going to listen to a podcast now.
You listen to us.
I'll bring our listeners up to 8.
Yeah.
That brings us up to 8.
Wow.
We're growing.
I live on
Yeah.
so like I have to talk to these guys about everything on Facebook and Discord because I don't do any of that stuff.
All right. Ready for the last segment?
Yeah, we got Les's wine
Oh,
machine.
yeah.
Oh boy,
Is it? It's not
All
Spell Rack
right.
again, is it?
doing the music.
No,
Good.
it's no spell rack. Even though that is still a craw. But all right. So when you sit down and you say, okay, I'm gonna play Phil, per se. I sit down and I go, Phil, these are my spells. They're my spells. You shouldn't be able to use them whatsoever. There is a caster in this game that can use my spells against me, and that's the biggest bullshit I ever had.
Yeah, I agree.
Tell me I'm wrong. All right,
Yep.
Don. What's that guy's name?
You still
The
beat
heretic.
The heretic.
me. He still beat me.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be able to cast any of the spells that I have because they are my spells. I'm not allowed to rack them. I don't get to pick them. They're my spells, but everybody else gets to use them.
I had him clenching. He
That's
was
horrible.
clenching. He's like, I'm like, what did you cast last turn? It's like, nothing.
I couldn't even cast my spells because I didn't want him to use it against me.
That's why you have to
Oh,
play a
that's-
faction that only has upkeeps, and then after that they do nothing.
Just don't cast.
No,
any
that's why I
spells, then
need to
can't
play-
steal 'em.
Well, yeah, but it hamstrings me.
And hamstrings him.
Not
thought you
really.
were
He's
gonna-
got all. He's got those Arcana things.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
I
you
thought
can't
that's
do
where you were
that
going.
because you got +2. You're -2 here and +2 for this and +2 for that, and it's like, why are you hitting at like 14 and I'm only a 16 defense? You know, that's horse. No. Arcanas, nope.
Granted, I did
They
it.
should.
I did
Arcanas should not
explain-
be in the game.
They do
I
take the
did
place of
explain
command
what
card.
everything did.
Doesn't matter. Arcanas should not be in the game.
But they're
It's
command
right up-
cards, but they get 7.
We don't
Yeah,
have feats.
I would love to have 7 command cards.
I love a feat.
Especially the ones that say that, oh, you're -2 speed. Oh, I'm gonna put you into this forest. Now you're -4 speed.
Les, was this your
It's basically a mini feat?
was this your first game into Grimkin?
Yep.
Oh, well,
I didn't
just
like
be glad you
I
didn't
feel
play him
touched.
in Mark III.
No, I feel touched in ways that I shouldn't.
We did have the talk.
That-
It was whatever.
Yeah, I'm supposed to remember everything that comes into
Yeah,
that talk.
right.
If you
He
play
hands,
the
he shows,
Grimkin,
no, here was the talk. Here was the talk. He shows me this little, this. Yeah, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this on this card and. That's all. That's how the game went. Then we both messed up on. It was just horrible. We got to learn to play better. But thank you very much for listening. I'm all
I'm
done.
expecting a lot of quacks for this section.
A 2-hour. Yeah, it was a 2-hour game that turned into a 4-hour game.
Oh,
Because
no.
I fumbled an assassination. It was like everything that could go wrong went wrong. I go
No,
here.
you can't do
Oh,
that.
wait, I can't do that because I did this and I forgot to do that first. Let's pretend that did happen.
That was. You guys, we've all had those games. I'm just gonna say it.
I had fun.
I did too, but. All right, I have to go.
You have to do your usual
Yeah.
Les.
Yeah, well,
Gotta-
you know, it is. I'm a very regular guy. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, guys, for coming. I really appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us.
Anytime.
Gotta poop.
Bye. Yes, I do. Yes.
I actually do.
Various rack of ages.